Welcome back guys, my name's Azam. If you're looking for anything to do new Audi A3 or S3 8Y generation, make sure you hit that subscribe button, check out the channel, we've got a shed load of videos covering everything off about it. In this one, we're going to be doing something a little bit more fun. A lot of you have been asking, myself have been asking in the past, how can we get the car a little bit more quicker? So what we're going to be doing is installing a tuning box by TDI for the Audi A3 35 TFSI S-tronic. Now these tuning boxes do work across the other models as well, so you can actually do it on a diesel, etc. Also you can get a map for a S3 as well, so think of this as it applies to the whole range. In fact, it applies to a whole heap of other cars, but the one we're fitting it to today is the A3 35 TFSI edition 1. Now the way we're going to structure this is I'm going to quickly give you guys an overview of how it works. Then we'll get straight into the meat of it. Does it make a difference? We'll do a couple of performance runs. I'll probably put the best of each run up. So we'll do a few runs on it running on standard and then with the maximum setting of 7, and we'll put the clips together. Then I'll come back, give you guys a conclusion of what the car felt like to drive. Did it feel any different? As well as right at the end, if you're really interested in seeing how the installation process went, it's really simple to do. I'll end the video off with that, so if you want to see how it's done you can watch that at the end, but I wanted to keep all the interesting stuff first guys. So with that said, let's jump into it. If you come closer, I'll give you a little bit of overview of how this works, right? So I'll just plug all of this back in, stick it there, sits there nice and tight on the Velcro. Basically guys, this is different from your normal remap, so you're not actually physically changing anything on the ECU. Instead what's happening is this harness, as you follow it down, you can see down here we've got the original connectors. So there's 2 boost sensors and then the cam sensor. So what TDI actually do is, rather than remap your ECU, they're using the sensors from your turbo and your fuel and actually tricking the values that are going into your ECU. So what it does is these sensors work as normal, they give out a reading, then the TDI box actually manipulates this reading before it makes it to your ECU, and hey presto, you've got more horsepower, more torque, or if you want, run it a little bit more efficient. So we'll be doing a couple of pulls with the standard map with everything turned off without the TDI box connected, and then we'll do a few with it obviously set to the maximum. Now in order to do this, we obviously need to enlist the help of our resident test driver. Some say he has a permanent face mask. All we know is... He's running late! Where the hell is he? Where is he?
I don't know.
Where have you been? Forgot he doesn't talk. So what we're going to be doing is a couple of base runs with the box turned off, and then some performance runs with the box fully turned on. Hopefully there's some noticeable difference. We will be using some cheap timing gear, so Android app. See if that works. If not, we'll also videoing the speedometer, so as a backup I'll be freezing that down and put a little stopwatch, so at least we've got something a bit more accurate to compare it against. But do you know what to do? We're good to go? Tuning set to 7. A lot more violent. So 9.18. Right guys, so hopefully that clearly demonstrated the box has made a difference. Now I know the 0 to 60 times done by our test driver were slower than the times claimed by the manufacturer, so I think off the top of my head, I'll correct it if I'm wrong, but it's around 8.3 seconds, and we were obviously getting 9.5 seconds. Now obviously environmental differences, so it was a cold day when we done those runs, and that might have possibly affected it, plus the test driver might need replacing. He might just actually be crap, guys. But anyway, what we demonstrated was that it did knock the time down, so we obviously had a reduction of around 0.3 seconds. But what I want to emphasize now is it's not just about the 0 to 60 side of things, it's completely changed the way the whole car drives. So the throttle became a lot more responsive. In the mid-range, the car felt a lot quicker. Now we've not had time to obviously go and get that dynoed just to prove that the claimed BHP numbers are real, but I can tell you from the butt dyno that having driven two 35 TFSIs before, including my Vorsprung and my old edition one, that this one definitely felt a lot quicker. And to be honest, I wasn't expecting much from the 0 to 60, but the fact we showed it on a non-performance car that it dropped the amount, to me shows that it's clearly made a difference. Now coming back to the box overall, how would I rate it? Installation, you'll see in a second, I've done that at home for one of the subscribers, and really straightforward. To be honest, it probably takes about 10 to 15 minutes. It took me a bit longer just because of the filming side of things. It is supposed to be untraceable, and what I mean by that is you can remove it before you take your car in to get serviced, and it's supposed to be non-detectable by Audi. Don't take my word for it. All I can say is I do know people who have fitted this on S5s and other cars in the past, taken it off and had no problem. So it's reversible, which is a good thing. Now, the version we did have was the mobile app. One thing I will say is the reason you've not seen us use the mobile app is because we struggled with it. I tried an Android, I tried an iPhone, I tried a couple more Androids, a couple more iPhones, and just couldn't get it to work. I rang up TDI. To be honest, they gave us very good support over the phone, but my general opinion of the app was it was very flaky. Now, it might have been a dud box, at which point we're probably going to send it back and get another one, but for the purposes of the video, I would say we couldn't get the app connected and we weren't able to use it the way we wanted. Also, in hindsight, I'm now thinking that once you've got this box connected, the chances are you're going to have it set to map 7 anyway, which is the most power boost, and you're going to be driving around in that mode. So do you really need an app to be able to do that, or can you just pop the bonnet and press the physical button on the box? Hope you found this one useful, guys. Make sure you give it a fat thumbs up. What we'll do now is roll the footage for the installation for those of you that want to see that. If you haven't done so already, guys, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. But that's it from me for now, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. The first step you want to carry out is obviously remove the plastic lid. So pretty easy to do, just tug at it. That's it, plastic lid off. And you've also got the 3 sensors, so I'll put up a picture of the instruction diagram on the left here. Basically what you can see again, there's 2 boost sensors towards the front and then a cam sensor on the top. I'll try to show you where the boost sensors are. You can see we've got one here, that's going into the front pipe. So good easy way to identify them, guys, is they've got the little grey connectors on them. And then the second one's a little harder to see, but essentially it's over here. And then finally the cam sensor, which is this one at the top. So pull them all off and then we're going to connect the TDI harness. The first step you want to do is pull the grey connector down and then press it and wiggle it off, right? So that's obviously boost 1 according to the instructions. Down here I've already pulled off boost 2. So what we're going to do just quickly to carry on is start connecting the harness. So the boost 1 harness is nicely labelled, nice and easy to find. It's worth bearing in mind there's a correct orientation. So if this side of the grey plug is up, I'll again put the picture up in the top left hand corner, but with this plug orientated like that, what you have to do is connect the male end of the harness for boost 1 in this way. So nice and simple. And what we'll do now is, in fact I might even be able to do this one-handed, so just line it up, right, and pull it together, and you hear a nice little click there. Once you're done, basically just lock that connector back in So there you go, it's locked just as normal, right? So that leaves us with the other end of the connector. So if you remember in the introduction, I mentioned that the TDI box basically is just bypassing the way the car runs the ECU, so it's actually intercepting it and changing some of the values. So in order to do that bypass, what we've done is unplug the sensor. This is the factory one going into the car, and what we're now doing is pushing it through the TDI box. So now it's connected to the TDI box here. To complete that loop, what we now have to do is push the other end of this harness back in to the car. So the values will get changed accordingly when you're doing your map. Similar thing, push it up, push that grey tab in, nice and locked. That's one done. Now we'll do exactly the same thing for the Boost 2 harness, which is at the back, so I'll quickly do that off camera. Right, since the last time we spoke, guys, obviously put the engine cover back on, routed the cables so they're a bit more tidy. So the cam one's coming under the cover out the side, over there, and the front ones just tucked them away underneath this void. So again, they're out of the way. So you can see the box is free at the moment. What I'm going to do is just attach a bit of Velcro to the back and just, for now, pretty much stick it on there. So the bonnet will shut, because you can see there's a bit of a recess in that area, so the bonnet will shut nicely. And then the last bit was just fed the power cable around here. It's obviously got the inline fuse, and just to show you where I connected it on the car, you can see just there. So loosened that nut, placed it in there and tightened it back up. Right, so you can see it's nice and solid. This is Velcroed on, so when you come to, if you ever remove it to get the car serviced or anything like that, you rip it off, unplug the same connectors that we showed you guys, put the car back to normal, and it's untraceable. So now what we need to do is turn the car on. Moment of truth, let's see if it powers up. So fortunately all seems well, all's running. You can see there, you can just about make it out that mode number 4 is selected. You can control it from here, so you can go plus and minus, which will change the maps, and you'll see the light change accordingly.